Whoa. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sunday. Whoa, what are we doing here? That is interesting. That wasn't supposed to happen like that. This is an impromptu Sunday live stream. Thank you guys for everyone who's joining in. Today, I'm going to be going through the Power BI report design presentation, the entire build of that I'm going to be giving in the Dallas Tuesday group. So this is like a build session. So want to hear back from you on like in the chat and in the comments, you know, things you like, things you don't like. Should I leave it in? Should I leave it out? So your feedback will definitively help go into build out this conversation. So a few shout outs for the people I see in the channel. Greg, Christian, how the heck's it going? Oh, Bob, you're here. If you're like in and you can leave a comment, that'd be great. Please let me know if there's anything that you want to see or not see. This session is, though, going to be me working on this stuff. So I'm going to have one eye on the chat and one eye building the stuff out. We're going to be really focused in on that. I do also want to let you know that I am about to roll off a brand new black on black store. So let me showcase this. Kind of excited about these new designs that we got out there. Why is my store not coming up right in YouTube? Well, let's head on over to, because I got to get to work. I got to get done. All right, so working on putting together the presentation. This is the Data God report design presentation I'm going to be doing for Tuesday. Yes, that we're going to be drawing a lot from what Miguel has given us and the conversation that we had there. I kind of don't like this camera, so I'm going to change something up pretty quick here. Let me go back to here. Come on. I'll take this camera. I'm gonna go back to this guy. Come on. Go. There we go. Nope. This guy. Yep. I got this camera on. We're gonna hide me there. I'm gonna paste me in. Shrink me in the screen. Do a little bit of crop here. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. You guys hear the music? Put something in the chat if you can hear the music. This is a DMCA free music that in theory I'm allowed to stream with. So honestly, I don't care if I get demonetized for this stuff, but you know, hopefully I'm not gonna get demonetized because that's always a pain in the neck. Come on, where'd I go? Come on, keep getting closer. The heck? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm moving the wrong thing. There we go. So there I am. Yeah. Okay. You hear the music. All right. Awesome. Okay, so I've got my presentation together here, and I like to spend some time laying out what I'm going to be talking about and getting my Power BI report to work. So I have got my the end state in mind of where I want to be. I've already done all of this work, right? So what we're going to be showcasing is actually how to go from a blank canvas to delivering this, right? So there's a lot involved in doing this, right? So if you worked in the Power BI space, you know that this is not like, you throw this together in a 5-minute experience. This is something that takes several different hours. So I want to make sure that I've laid out all of the points that I want to have. So I'm going to have my my slides that I've got together here. Is I've kind of already put together an outline of the things that I want to talk about. So, all right, what is it that I want to do? So it's all about establishing goals. All right, so we're going to actually go in. We're going to make some changes here. We're going to duplicate this. Is going to be my slide that we're going to be having for the whole thing. I'll eliminate myself there. Move that keyboard. Okay, kid. I will just shrink you down quite a bit. Now, I'm going to be presenting, so I want to keep some of my contact available. Now, anytime I go to build, I like to do a couple things. Number one, or anytime I like to do a presentation, I like to draw up an outline. Make sure that I understand like what it is, the target that I'm going to, right? Like work through all of this stuff in advance. Create an outline, create a presentation, and then I like to make sure that I've got my office template icons available right here, so I can easily go in and grab any different icon that I'm using in the presentation, make that easy to and good to go. A new thing that I've started to do is I've started to include ChatGPT inside of my inside of my development. So if I say Power BI report design, actually Power BI report presentation, where'd it go? Hey, hey, I want to create a YouTube and description for live stream creating Power BI report design. Right, this goes through. ChatGPT comes out and actually gives me a little outline there. If I want to say I want to creating a Power BI report design presentation for Texas Power BI user group, also just kind of stick that in, see what ChatGPT comes up with, see if I'm missing any points, anything that I kind of would want to hit on. Color schemas, fonts, right? Make your reports stand out, create dynamic layouts, easy to navigate. Yep. Design techniques. Yep. Okay, cool. Honestly, great. I'm not missing anything from ChatGPT, so I got that in place. All right, so we're going to be talking about establishing goals. It's only a couple minutes of ChatGPT, Greg, or just making sure we're not missing anything, right? So we want to talk about our goals, right? So establish goals. And if you guys want to like just join the Tuesday thing, 100% you can. It's going to be like this. This is what this is what I'm doing for this live stream. Look and feel, right? Drive insights. Actually, we're just gonna paste all this stuff in. This is what I wanted to say. All right, that's way too big though, so let's drop that down. Maybe make it a little bigger. Oop, there we go. All right, so establish goals. There we go. Great look and feel. Awesome. And I'm a big one. The reason I put a lot of time and energy into design is I think this really helps tell a story. It helps talk about all of the effort that you spend on building something like this. This wasn't something that was easy to do, but this is, I like to make sure that even my presentation looks sharp and looks on point. So I'm going to be using some elements from inside here, right? So I want to make sure I've got my branding together. Oh my gosh, go away. Nobody wants you, designer. I've got some kind of branding on there, and then I'm going to be inserting some images as well inside of here. One of the things I do like to do to kind of kick things up a notch is I do like to have Photoshop, and I like to do some like custom editing of images to start to pull those together and add those in. That's something that not just inside your report does that become helpful, but it becomes helpful when it comes to actually building out content. Is is having some custom visuals and custom imagery and stuff. So, but I'm going to show you how to do some of this in an easier fashion as well. So, okay. So the next thing is choosing your palette. All right. So we're going to duplicate this slide. Duplicate. Next item is choose your palette. Oh my gosh. Too much. Too big. Too big. Too big. Up. Downsize. Okay. Palette. Just size, shape. All right. So this is what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to run through quick what it is we're going to be doing here. So I like to use pixels to get my palette, because if you take a look at what we're going for is we want a nice visual background, right? So in this case, we're talking about like something that's almost a marketing piece and less of something that is like a functional report, although I'm going to show you how you can make it functional as well. So I'm going to head over to pixels.com. All right, and I'm going to take night skyline. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to look for a skyline. And what I was looking for was something that looked beautiful with the night sky. And then, what you'll see on the bottom, oh, I just did a reflection there. I always like that with like a lake and a reflection on top of it. So I'm just looking for something with the night skyline on it. Actually, this is pretty cool here. Maybe we'll use this for our video. Well, now I better keep it in alignment with what I already have. So where did my image go? Okay. Let's see here. Come on, if I can't find it, I'll just pick another one and go with that. Spending a little time though on picking the right image can really help you. Help you have some content that's got good color that pops and really looks great. No, we're going back up to the top to that one I found right up near the top. And we'll actually just recreate a new one here while we're doing this on this live stream. So we're not going towards the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to download this one, the original size. Download. So that's going to be in my download file. So open this up. Now, I like to always make sure I rename it. It's going to be Texas PUG, right? And I'm going to take that and I'm going to put all of my assets into a folder specifically for this presentation. Now, the reason I like to do this is because on the night of a presentation, you never know what's going to go wrong. You might, you can have everything up and ready, and then like right before the presentation, your computer crashes and you have to bring everything up, right? By having all my assets in one place, it makes it really easy to do that. So I'm going to call this one, no, this is port design. I'm going to do that. Where did my downloads go? Yeah, so I got my Texas copy, go back over, paste that into here. Okay, so I've got that together. Now, if you recall, one of the things that I really want to do is I want to have this like long stream lookout, right? So this is, a lot of times you get a request like, hey, I want to see everything on one page. Not something that you necessarily really want to do, because you can have all sorts of problems when it comes to performance and all sorts of problems there. But when you do, okay, then that's when you can introduce this like scroll bar, right? So you can really scroll down. Some big key things when you're doing a scroll bar design is you want to make sure that any visual you have, if it's going to scroll, it only scrolls up and down. You have no side to sides. That's going to become really important, okay? So in order to get this layout right, I'm going to launch a new PowerPoint deck. And here's where I could lose you, because every time I switch this, I don't know why, but my system can crash. So, it's like PowerPoint goes crazy on that stuff. Design. It's not a view, it's in design. Slide size, custom size. Now, I like to think of my design. Oh, where's my notepad? Did I do that? So one of the things I do in my design is Windows desktop, is I'll go in and I will look at personalize my desktop. I want to pretend like this is, I'm going to be pivoting my monitor and putting everything on the side. Okay. So I want it to be like a horizontally facing monitor, right? You know how people have monitors like that. So I'm going to go in and I want it to be the exact same size as my desktop. Why am I forgetting about where this could be? Because I'm on a live stream and I'm talking to myself. Oh, display settings, not personalized. Okay, so what is the display resolution? Why are you not jumping out to me? Oh, yeah. 2560 by 1440. So I'm going to make a little note of that because for whatever reason, 2560 by 1440. I'm going to be doing the exact opposite with my slides. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to change it from widescreen to a custom. And I want my width to be... at one point in time, you could choose pixels here. What happened to this thing? Okay, portrait. Oh, okay, you know what? We're going to cheat. Oh, what the hell did I do here? Can't you do this in pixels? I thought you could. Oh, maybe if I just do portrait. Widescreen. Maximize. There we go. Okay, cool. Now I've got this in place. Sorry. And the reason I like this, especially if I'm going to be doing a scroll, is I want to think about having that, like having multiple pages. I want to think about having those in the different places, right? So I've got a screen that's complete and total on one page, and then as I scroll down, I want to have another complete screen and another and another below that. So I'm basically going to end up with 3 regions on this, okay? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to insert that picture that I got. So I'm going to go grab that picture from, here's all my images that I have, presentations, port design, and here's my Texas PUG user group. Okay, so I've got this. This is going to become, my header. So this line here is something that I'm really going to focus in on. Let me blow this up. Let me zoom in so I can see it. So I'm going to crop this right to there. And the top, I'm going to take down, I'm going to crop. Crop there. Call that good. So this is going to be my top. I'm going to copy and paste this. Now I'm going to actually shift my crop. And I'm just going to drag this down to like exactly what it was. All right, try that. So now we've got this picture. Hey, this looks great. Lines up nice and good. But what I want between these two is I want to have a nice clean palette so it's easy for me to work on and bring these things together, right? So I want to go in and I want to set this stuff out. So format background, and I want to make sure that I'm using my eyedropper, and I grab a blue color that is similar? How's that look? I don't know. That's actually too bright there. I mean, that looks good, but then... No, I'm going to go with that original picture that I had. And I have that in my Kratos BI backgrounds. In images? Backgrounds. Where did I get it from? Here it is. All right. Starting over. Sorry. Again, you can see why I like this image right here. It's because it's got a solid color the entire time along it, entire run along this what would be the coast, but you can't really see it there, right? So it makes it really easy for me to grab part of it, stick up at the top, stick the other part on the bottom, and then give myself a black palette in between. So again, I'm gonna hit crop. Gonna find my middle, like my my shoreline in this case. I'm gonna drop this down. I get to kind of like a cool like visual. Gonna be done with that. I'm gonna delete these. I don't need to have these inside my screen. And so now I've got a top. And duplicate this or copy, paste. Oh, like there. Yeah. Chris Hamill and Mark Miguel are the ones who showed me some of this stuff. So thanks, guys. I appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna hit crop again, and I'm gonna actually flip it to the bottom, right? So I get that bottom side. So now I have the shorelines here. I'm actually gonna crop this again. This little like white thing there, I want to get rid of it. I don't want to have that inside my report, right? I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna get rid of that. Right, good. Got that done. Now zoom out, stick that at the bottom, zoom in, and now I want to set my background. So actually one of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using the trick to like copy out all of the images, and I want it to be the actual size. I don't want to lose any of my sizes. So like the whole like Control A, right click, save as picture, right? And you can kind of see that. Oh, maybe I should minimize myself a little bit here. Whoops, that wasn't it. Sorry. Oh, got too much stuff going on the screen. There we go. All right. So I want to be doing the save as picture thing that I've got right up on screen. But in order to do that, I need to have an object here. If I just do it like this, you actually get a transparent place through here. And you might want that to be able to show stuff through or whatnot. In this case, though, I don't want that. So I'm going to create a box that I'm going to fill. I'm going to use the eyedropper to get whatever black is the nearest here as the color. I'm going to set my border to nothing so that I have nothing there. I'm going to go edge to edge. And I'm going to zoom out so I can do this easily. Boom. Now I have a palette for my... so that I can work from this, okay? So I've got my palette together here. I'm gonna take my notes and put that off screen so I can make sure I'm running through this. Okay, so I've got this in place. I've got my colors on. All right, now, in order to create this background, I'm gonna Control A, select everything, right click, save as picture, and this is gonna go into my presentations, report design. This is my main background. Right? So save that out there. So I've got it right there. Now, I could be done with this, but I'm going to go to a new slide, and I'm going to take one of the visuals. And what I want to do is I want to create a custom palette for this. And in order to create a custom palette that is like tuned with like nature and all that good stuff, and so that I know it's going to look right. I don't have a like advanced degree in like colorology or whatever it is that artists have. Um, but I know that this is nature and it looks gorgeous. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a custom theme for inside my Power BI report that's going to that's going to draw from and pull colors from here. So this is going to be the first time I'm going to actually pull up a Power BI desktop. I'm going to have it up in my other window so that I can go to view. I can go into the themes and I can go to customize current theme, and I can make sure that I see what are all the colors that I need to get. Like in this case, I know I need 8 theme colors. I need negative, positive, neutral, max, min, and that's kind of about it when it comes to the colors I'm going to be selecting. So I'm going to go in and choose all of those. Okay. So I've opened up my Power BI desktop. I have that on another screen so that I can actually go in and set those all at one time. Theme. All right. And like I said, I want to go ahead and I want to get that from this report. So I'm going to just go and I'm going to create a box for each one of the 8 that I needed. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay. So I need to have my 8 colors. But the reality is I don't really want to have 8 colors because that becomes really hard to like work with and see and tell differences. You can come up with all sorts of crazy stuff that look weird on your canvas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a couple of primary colors and then I'm going to set some gradients from there. So I'm going to lock these in. Oh, I think I got those 8. I've got these in place, but I'm also I want to we'll round that off, and I'm actually going to do a black and a like a custom gray for like the neutral coloring that I have. Okay, so in this case, let's see. Let me also pull that this guy. At the end, hopefully this can look as much like that custom theme as I want or as I set up. So, wait a minute. Oh my. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go through and set this up. Apparently that custom theme got screwed up here. So, all right, so I've got this out. I'm gonna go in. I'm going to grab my colors quickly. I want to find the boldest color I can. Oh, that's not very bold. What do I want to find from here? Because I know I'm orange. There you go, orange. Because I am format. Oh, why didn't that do it? Oh, I know. Shape fill. Because I'm pulling from the picture itself, I know that I'm getting content that is compatible with nature. That means these colors and these tones are all gonna look good together. Okay, so I'm gonna set up one, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up. Oh, I forgot. I gotta do this. I set one. Create a white square. Copy it, and I'm gonna actually send it backwards until it's behind the orange square. I'm gonna do that for 5. I'm gonna do that for each one of these, and we're gonna cheat. We're not gonna do that again. I'm gonna actually now do this, where I select the ones in front. I'm gonna arrange, bring to front. All right, awesome. So now what I can do is I can actually set this transparency to 25%. And I can set this one to 50. And what this is going to do is it's going to give me a gradient of these colors based upon that white background. So now to get that actual hex code, I could go in and do that. And then I can grab this guy as well. And from here, I now have under, oh, you can't see it because I'm in the way here. There you go. Under more colors here, when I click on this, I can go get the hex code on it. So more colors, hex code. And I'm going to start to build this out. More colors. All right, I want to go through and I want to set this for each one. And then I want to do the exact same thing for these other shapes. So I've got my oranges. Now I've got a whole bunch of great looking purples in here. Let's see if I can find like the deepest of the purples inside of here. And you know, I think there's actually a really deep one, right? That is true purple. Yeah. Is there another one? I'm gonna play around, look for another purple that I can get inside my palette. Oh, I like that one better. That one's better. I'm gonna use this as my purple. It's gonna be my baseline for my purple color. And again, I'm gonna set these two colors to 50%. Or the first one to, the one furthest to the left, 50%. Then this one to 25. And then I'm gonna get the eyedropper out and I'm gonna set it based upon that purple on white. Okay, so that gives me those colors at that lower grade. All right, and I'm purposely going in and grabbing the hex code on each one. Yeah, see you later, Christian. Say goodnight to your 6-year-old. Put these in place. Okay, so that's there. Okay, got those in. Now what do I want to get? I want to see if I can find. There's like these pinks in here that are pretty bold. I want to see about getting one of those. Let's see if I can find a pink in here. I'm gonna start with that guy. Ooh, I like that one a lot. All right, on that, and again, setting my transparency so I can get that lighter shades. And then using the more colors. Oops. Did not do that, right? Eyedropper, boom. Colors. Boom, boom, boom. So set this all up. And this can be really relaxing, right? Like I think I like Bob Ross's, you know, sometimes like find those happy little colors out in the oceans. Find where they could be. All right, let's get my background color. All right, so I got that in place. Oopsies. This. What this? 25. Right. Oh, actually, we're actually gonna. We'll take 3 grays. This one go 50. All right, now let's grab these colors. That didn't do that. eyedropper. That was weird. And this eyedropper becomes this. Hey, Donald, what's going on, buddy? Yep. For these colors, I guess we'll stick with white on that. You know, maybe there are other like places you can go to get like compatible colors and whatnot, and there's all sorts of like websites you can use. If you just type in like color palette, you can go and you can find that stuff. But I think I think one of the things I like most about this is because you know that these colors are coming from nature, right? Like it's all natural. It's not like some mathematical equation to sort out what this should look like or anything along those lines, right? So like you don't need to do all of that. But now I've kind of got this together. So from this one spreadsheet or from this PowerPoint, we'll say this. PowerPoint presentations, more options. Where's my sales reports? My background. All right, save that into there. Now I'm going to go back to that original presentation because so this is my custom size page, but I want this to be, hey, okay, this is a great design for your custom design page, or a custom layout that's longer. But let's talk about how you could transition that to something that might be a little more functional. And when you show a user this, you always want to be prepared for like, or do you like this as an alternative, right? And often, people don't really know what they want; they just think they know what they want, right? So they think they have what they're asking for, but they don't really need it all in one page. So we're actually going to show it both ways. Okay, so in order to do this exact same thing, I'm going to grab my header, copy that. I'm going to head back to my PowerPoint, and I should save this thing too. Save as, more options, presentations, report design. All right, save that out there. Now, we're going to do new slide blank. And I'm going to create my design from here. So we're going to try this out. See, now this is taking way too much of the page for here. So we're going to go picture format crop. And I'm going to really, whoopsies. Why did that do that? I'm going to really bring it in so that it's as small as it possibly can be. Right, if I'm going to a more classic page like this, I don't want my entire screen eaten up by a visual, right, or by a header section, right? I want that to be as small and as narrow as it possibly can be. So I'm going to even crop it a little more than what I have here. Well, that is weird. It's doing a weird jump. You guys see this? This is irritating to say the least, but I think that's about as narrow as I can get it. All right, we're going to use this for the design. So we've got design background that looks like this, and we got one that looks like this. So I'm just going to insert into here a square that I'm going to grab that shape fill on eyedropper, and again, as close to it as we can. Make sure I don't have any backgrounds on this. And now I've got this in place, so I don't want to have anything. Wait a minute, did that go over? Why do I have, oh, it's the outline of this slide. Okay. Let's also make sure. Okay, I don't want this to be any bigger than this because I'll throw off some of my distortion. So Control A, right click, save as picture. This could be, that was my main background. So this could be my alt background. Okay. So what do I have now? I've got my main background. I've got my alt background. I've got the makings of my color palette that I'm going to be using. So now what do I want to do? I want to make sure, I want to go back into Power BI and I want to go in and adjust my canvas accordingly. So first page I'm going to have is going to be my main page that, you know, requirements for everything on one side. So I'm going to go into under canvas settings. I'm going to change it to a custom. And remember, we did the layout already. It was 1280 or 2560 by 1440. So my height in this case is going to be 2560 and my width is going to be 1440. Okay. Now, inside here, I'm going to say browse for my my background that I created that's in my presentations folder. Port design, main background, insert. I want to, top. I want to set this to fit. I want to drop my transparency to 0. So now I've got my wallpaper here. Now, one of the things that I do like to do along with this, though, is on my actual wallpaper. That's the back here. Because this is like a marking piece, I want this to look good. I'm going to go and I'm going to grab that original image file that I have in images and backgrounds. I'm going to remember to move that for my presentation. Images, backgrounds. Oh, my camera got stuck. Thanks for good head up. Thanks for the heads up, Kevin. Let's try going back to here. And then back to here. Oh no. All right, good call, Kevin. Let's see, what happened to my camera? Whoa. My whole streamer almost went down there. That was almost not good. Oh, what's going on? So we went back to this. All right, now let's go back in here. No. Where's my screen? Okay. There we go. Back up. Thank you very much, guys. Sorry about that. Good call, Kevin. All right. So I want to grab that background that I was using. Where did that background go? A couple of them. Oh, here. All right. So I'm going to grab that background. Ah, yeah, there it goes. I'll do fit. That's 0 transparency. Now I kind of have the same colors in the background there. Yeah, good call, Kevin. So I've got that in place. Now that I have this page in place, I'm actually going to go and I'm going to say duplicate this page. Now I've got those things set up. Actually, no, before I do that, delete. One of the things I want to do is I want to customize my filter experience, and I want to get this page all set up as much as possible before I do anything else. And you know what? I'm realizing I screwed up. Son of a nutcracker. Well, we're gonna try it anyways. So I'm gonna go to Data Hub. I'm gonna get connected to my data set. Generally speaking, when I do demos, I do like to use the data imported in and not a data set, because then I don't have to do like weird, direct query stuff. But we'll connect to the same data set. Then I'll know it's the same as my demo, right? So I've got this in place. My model's all here. I'm going to go in and I want to go. Oh, I didn't really set the filters. I kind of like changing this up so that the filters are in alignment with my design, right? So where did my larger one go? So I'm going to take this color and I'm going to use this to I'm going to take the colors on here and start to enhance my theme so that all of my visuals, my filter pane, everything is kind of in alignment and has a nice organic look and feel. So go into view, customize current theme. Here's where I'm going to start to add in those colors, right? And these, I'm just pasting them in from that, I'm going from here, right? And just bringing them in to here, right? You can kind of start to see them start to come through. And kind of the nice thing about this is because this is an organic way of working with data and coming up with colors, not only does it look good, but like every single time you do this, even if you're using the same picture, you're going to be really hard pressed to get the exact same color. Now, I mean, if you're talking about bespoke development, which is what we're really talking about here, that's kind of a good thing, right? Like every single thing becomes more more special, right? Or yeah, more special. That's better. Is that what I want? I don't know. In this cases, I'm gonna use my purple as good. No, not yeah. Actually, we're gonna use that gradient as good to bad. So that entire gradient that I had selected before. When I say gradient, I'm talking about this gradient, right? Like from there to there. We'll use that for my positive and neutrals. We'll use our bright purple, and we will use our center point. Now, if you're going to be using off colors that are not on a spectrum, make sure you have some sort of neutral middle point, okay? So that you actually run down run. Oh, I did this. How did I do that one backwards? I'll have to reset that one. So in this case, like I have the positive purple there. The negative isn't going to be red. It's going to be that my orange I've chosen. Oh, man, I did that one backwards. In fact, I did that totally backwards. That's odd. Okay, so this is max, right? So we're going down. We're going across our gradient here to set what the maximum is, right? So I've got max, min, or middle, and we've got the other one, or min here. Okay, so we got that in place. Positive and max are the same. These are good. I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to do custom font. I really like the I've been really digging on Arial. We'll just keep it the same everywhere. I don't want to change these things up. So let's, I honestly, I don't like to have different different fonts. I know some people make that case for that, but I don't. I do like to shift these around. That 45 is just way too big for the card, so that's good. We'll keep with that. What just happened there? That was interesting. Okay, I don't know. That was weird. Background doesn't matter. Borders off. Headers. Yeah. On the page, I've already got that set up. Got that already. Nah, here we go. This is what I want to do. This is what I was talking about. Like having this color. And honestly, I think I want to have this. I was gonna do it like this black bleeding in, but kind of like this blue, and because it's gonna take up a big bar here. And that's not one that I had previously taken. So I'm going to come back in. I'm going to grab this. And so this is the color that I'm going to be setting my my background to on my my background to inside of my my filters, right? So I want my background to be this. If my background is going to be that color, I cannot have my font be the same, right? So at the worst case scenario, we're going to use a font of a white font because you always want to have significantly varying colors, right? But for the yes, it's been selected, we'll use that orange. Got that in place. Good. Boy, I really wish they would I really wish they could keep that. Okay, so we got that in place. Apply. Boom. Okay, that's good enough. That's fine. Okay, so we've got that. We've got the filter pane set up. We've got this in place. Now, let's see here. What else do I have on my notes? Oh, ha ha ha. Okay, so I've got this page created. I think my theme is in place. One of the things I also want to make sure that I do is I use a custom switch statement. Now they allow, Power BI just rolled out that new like custom switching of color stuff that you can add in. That's pretty cool, but it is basically just this. I'm gonna paste this in. Can you paste Dax in the chat? Not well. I'm not sending that. That doesn't. Oh, too many characters. No. So none of that. All right. I really like including this bank name color code or a color coding and switching inside of my templates. What that does is it ensures that anything that I'm visualizing has a consistent look and feel to it. Anytime I'm visualizing like Guardian Bank or my banks and on dim reseller, it always looks the same. Okay. Now, normally I would create this measure, but this is already inside of this one. So if I go and I look at dim reseller, I believe it's in here, is it not? No. Bank name color code. Yeah. I put it on the fact table. Okay. All right. So it's already in there. So that's good to go. We're set for that. Okay. So where are we at here? Gotta make sure I've got my presentation ready. Okay. There's that. Here's a presentation. Where are we at? Palette. All right. We did that. Now we have a new slide. Actually, duplicate slide. And this becomes... Oh, this is a good moment for... I'd like to put in a plug for Notepad++. They're not a sponsor of this video. They're not a sponsor of this channel. They don't even know I exist. But hey, Notepad++, if you need a text editor, it is this channel's preferred text editor of choice. Notepad++. Get it where you download all of your Notepad++ software installs. All right. We want to adjust the canvas, and I did all that. Canvas size, background, wallpaper, fit to width, adjust theme. Yep. Create common color breakout. Yep. I did all of that. And here's the example. Awesome. So again, we'll set this. Clearly, okay. It should be like, huh? Okay. VS Code, huh? Donald? Honestly, I just haven't been able to make that switch over. Okay, got that in place. Got the switch statement in there. All right. So we're gonna work on putting in these custom visuals right now. Now there's something. Um, actually, one last thing. So this is my main page, right? And now that this is done and ready, I want to create those other pages I was talking about. So I'm gonna duplicate it. Right, I'm just duplicating the page, right? I'm gonna create what the heck are we calling this one? So this is focus. We'll just call focus for now. On this page though, I'm gonna go back into my canvas settings, or where is it? Yeah, I'm gonna change it to my 16 by 9. I'm gonna blow away my background. I'm gonna change to that new background that I had created in presentations or design. And this is, so now I've got, oh, there's a line in there. Sun's up. I don't see a line. Do you see a line? There is a line, but I didn't think I saw it. Okay. Fill. Shape fill. Alright, save as picture. Alt background. Save. Yes. I don't want this line in there. I refuse to have that line. Okay, there we go. Line is gone. Okay, so what we're going to talk about, or what we're going to add in now that we have this in place, is I want to add in my top level metrics. Oh, last thing, page view, I want it to be fit to width. Okay, so reason for this is I want people to generally be speaking beyond this page, and then scroll down if that's the case, and then or navigate over to this visual, right? Never do I really want to see people looking at my report like this. This is garbage. Nobody can make out nothing like this, right? So I want this to be set to fit to width, so this actually fits on there. Okay, now I should probably at this point name it. Save it as Texas PUG. All right, so I'm going to, I'm a strong advocate for having high-level KPIs at the top of your report, right? So I really like to be able to see, you know, what are the metrics that really drive my organization that we have goals on right at the top of my report. So I'm going to create them, you know, and this is based upon internet sales, or in fact reseller sales, right? So I'm going to choose my reseller sales amount. Now, if I'm going to do this, a few things, right? So clearly this is not the color scheme that I want. I want to adjust this accordingly. So I'm going to change this from, and I never do things more than once if you have to, right? So as I'm going to format this, I want to make sure that it is as basic as it possibly can be, and then I'm not going to have to do something over and over and over again. Okay, so I number one, I want to make sure that I have my colors right. So what colors am I going to use? In this case, I'm going to use my purple that I have right here, right? And I'm going to do the same thing for my labeling. Use the same color, right? But I'm going to get rid of my background, right? So, and that's inside of effects, background off, right? So now I've got my KPI right here. Now, one thing I do not like about this is I don't want to have reseller sales amount, right? This is my reseller sales dashboard, right? So I'm actually going to like call that out at the top. So I'm going to insert in a text box. We're going to call it reseller sales, right? And maybe we'll even, so it's already Arial. We'll do Arial black, right? And we'll actually change the color of it to white, make it a 20, extend that out. Then I'm going to move it like over here, shrink that, and under properties, still on it, right? Oh, no, effects, properties, no background. Okay. So now I've got my reseller sales up at the top, right? So everyone knows I'm talking about reseller sales. I want to have my reseller sales amount here. So now that this visual is appropriately formatted, I'm actually going to go in and rename these. So I remove the reseller part of it. Put that in place. Now, I'm going to get my layout. I know I've already designed my report. I mean, I know I've got 5 metrics that are important for me, right? That's important, right? Understanding what that design is going to look like. Right? In fact, is that in my slide deck? That's something I should call out. We're doing 3A. Okay, sketch out layout and design. So let's do that. Regions, themes. You know, we want to have regions and themes and like topics that we're focusing on. Topics, and we also want to really talk about the insights. How will they find or path to insights? Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, so we'll duplicate this slide again. This time, I'm going to start with, okay, so I've got my slide, my deck here, right? So, okay, this is my blank canvas, right? So I'm going to insert some kind of reports, some things on top of this. So I'm going to start to lay this out. Why are you not liking me? Okay, so this is going to be my KPIs. Well, okay. KPIs. KPIs. All right, so I've got that. Underneath this area, and let's give some coloring to this so that makes sense. Underneath my KPIs, I want to have some trend information. All right, but trend information, I want to give myself a block of room for that, so it's not just it's not just, you know, it's easy for me to engage in or see what's trending going on inside of my space. Now beneath this, so remember they wanted everything on one page. Here's where I want to actually start to add in my insights. Okay, and then below that we're going to do details. All right, so we'll do insights. We'll change that shape. And details. Right, because everyone wants to like oh yeah, show me my KPIs, but I want to see, you know, whatever, right? So I've got details, and then this is going to be my filters. Okay. So, you know, we try to have few filters on a page, but, you know, if someone's going down that far into a page, you know, clearly they've got problems, and they really need to get into some details. Okay. So this is a design pattern that we're going to have, right? So this is my layout. You know what? I can just do this all in one slide, can't I? You know, I could set the background. I need to have that as a picture here. Format background, picture, clipboard. Done. Done and done. Ah, good. Now I don't have to worry about that, but now I can grab this. I can paste that over here. Good. So I kind of got that in place. All right, so my layout. Now we're going to start to add visuals. That's the next step in this. All right. So have you guys heard me talk about top and bottoms? I like the top and bottom concept. Ah. Okay. All right. We'll get into that in just a second. All right. So I want to set up my KPIs. I know my KPIs are going to run across the top of it. I'll have defined what they are. All right. So I'm going to lay these out. Right, and I'm going to give myself as much room as I can inside this space because I'm going to do something else here. I'm going to be putting a smart narrative right here because I want to we'll give people that textual insights as to what's going on. So once I kind of get these into place, you're going to see me do this all the time. I'm a big one for align, top, align, distribute horizontally, right? Making sure that my visuals fit in as I'd expect them to. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to switch them up for the values that are in my, or that I'm supposed to have, right? So the next, so it's order amount, order quantity. Next is amount shipped. Then I'm going to go to from amount shipped to unit price. Swapping these out. All right. And last one is tax amount. Okay. As soon as I have this done, the very next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to publish this out into the service, into the workspace that I know it's going to be in, that I know I'm going to be sharing out with people. And I'm going to make this available through there. And the reason why is the second I have that published out into the service, I'm going to go out into that workspace and I'm going to create a metrics scorecard based off of those KPIs. Okay. Now in this case, I've already done that. I've already created those, and I can find those inside my workspaces, reports, Power BI Dark Scorecard. The reason I want to go out and do this right away is so that I can start the tracking on this right away, so I can start to build out some history, so that by the time I share this with people, there's going to be some history of information inside of there. Okay. So first thing, you publish a report. And second thing, you create your scorecard. Okay. Now, if you haven't created a scorecard before, relatively easy for the purpose of the live stream, and I guess I'll do a demo of this here. So we can go into edit. I can go ahead and say new metric, and then I can name my metric like Texas, or this is my live stream KPI. Right, I could say who's responsible for it. I can either enter a value or I can connect it to data. If I just published it, it would be up. This would be one of the first things that are on there. As it is, I can say, okay, I want to go to my dark Power BI report, go next. And then I can attach this KPI to one of my measures, right? So what measure do I want to connect to? Reseller sales amount. I hit connect. I can set my target. I don't know, 95, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? I'll say it's like on track, and I'll give myself to the end of the year to finish it, or whatever it is, right? Something off into the future, right? Then I hit save. Now that this is available, what I can do inside of my Power BI report, back over to that, is I can use the new the metrics visual to connect to that metrics. So I just click on the metrics visual that comes online. I say add metrics, and I have two options. I can add in a list, and it's entirely possible. Maybe I want to add in a list, or I can go to an actual metrics. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to browse my metrics, looking to add in a singular metrics. Here is that dark Power BI scorecard, and I want to add in the sales metrics. So I can then add that to the report. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm not refreshing this. Apparently, I guess I stopped on that. But the reason why you want to start this as soon as possible is so that you have some kind of control over this. Okay. You do have some options on, like, hey, do you want to see if it's status? When does it due? I'm going to kind of take that stuff off. I really like having that. You know what? Let's leave it all on just for the purposes of this. Okay, I really like having these things all together on there. Interesting. Growth. Huh? Oh. Yeah, okay. So we got those in place. Now, what I want to do is I want to set these up so I've got one of these available for each of my metrics, okay? And so I want to be mindful of how big this is going to be when I set these in place, because that's going to also impact the size of these metrics and how much room they take up. Because I want my users to be able to toggle between seeing where they're at and being able to actually interact and see the metric themselves. Okay, so I'm going to go in and repeat this. Unfortunately, you do have to go through like the adding metrics each time, right? So browse, scorecard, right? Order quantity, add to report, right? So I'm going to do this in the exact same order, make sure that they're exact same size. I'm going to keep doing this until I hit all 5. I don't think there's a way to copy and paste these right now, just because, you're having to like navigate through them. If I get these all in alignment, 2 more, and I'm done. Yeah, I believe Power BI Pro Metrics is available for the Pro. And yeah, and Don's right, patching it too. Good call out. Tax amount's my last one. Add to report. Oh, I bet my end of year hit. Okay. So now that I've kind of got these in place, I've got my, oh wait, tax amount's my last one. Oh, I'm missing unit price. All right, gotta get unit price. Skipped over one. Add to report. Boom. Okay. So now I can see that this is how far apart my KPIs need to be in order for me to do the next trick I'm about to do. So I'm going to kind of space these out so that they stay in alignment with each other, but that they center on our metrics, okay? Now, big thing here, let's look at view, selection. All right, here's a big one here. Now I'm going to group these. I'm going to call these my KPIs under my selection pane up here. Right? Now, I've got these, and now I'm going to group these. Why does that let me group them? There we go, group. Oh, why did you not come along? Oh my, it does not like that. Do not group them. They respond poorly there. Oh, wait. All right. Okay. The reason for grouping these is we want to toggle these on and off, right? Like I want to be able to have an on where I turn them on and I flip back and forth between the metrics, okay? So I am going to take these, I'm going to position it right over my KPIs. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to add a bookmark. Home. Actually, I'm going to leave it as is because my bookmarks are going to become a thing that I'm going to play with more in just a little bit, but just know that it's there. That's something you create early on in the process, okay? So now that I've got that in place, we're going to add in our trend lines, right? So what's the next thing on our chart, right? If we go back into this, we want to have trends. We got our KPIs inclusive of our goals. I want to add that in there. So we're just going to be going and we're going to be adding reseller sales amount, right? But as always, we're going to rebrand that like this. We're going to use a year month from my fact table. Year month. It's going to be my x-axis, right? I can see this right here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my small multiples. And I'm going to do that on my bank name. Okay, because the bank name is the one that I'm focusing in on for the purposes of this. And so it's dim reseller bank name. Go into small multiples. Boom. Blood out. So I want to make sure that I've got plenty of room on here. Remember again, we're planning that we're going to have all of this set up so that we can visualize everything all at once. Okay, so under small multiples, I'm going to choose how many columns do I want. In this case, I'm actually going to up it to 4. Yeah, this allows me to see each of them at the exact same time, but I am going to go in from here. And how can I do this? I'm going to lower my padding. Title, we're going to turn that off. Let's see here, and title will turn off. I don't want to have that there. We know what these are. Oh, actually, my title on my multiples I do want to have. So on, so you can see what each one of them is. then I'm going to go in and we're actually going to apply that function, okay? So instead of it being a gradient on this one, I want to set up by a field value. So in this field value, dim factory seller sales, that's that bank name color code. So click OK. Now all of my banks end up getting their own color assigned to them. So that's great, super easy to kind of look at. Consistent in my revenue and my lines. So I'm gonna also go in and then turn off my background. Oh, background off. Great. Now, only thing I want to do additionally here is I want to make those colors a little better to see. So let's talk about my colors. Let's use this. Right. Make it nice and easy. All right. So I've kind of got this all set up. This looks pretty good. Again, think about this inside the service, right? We want to have, like, what is this going to look like inside of the service, right? So when someone comes in and looks at this, this is kind of a page, right? So I've got one defined page here, right? Next thing that we're going to be adding in, though, is our insights, okay? Now, we're starting to now give people the option to see some of the things that Power BI does that that people may not be aware of is a thing, right? So what we're going to do in here is we're going to create a new visual here. We're going to purposely look for and create an outliers visual. So we're going to drag this down, right? And you know what? We're going to cheat a bit. So we're going to duplicate what we had above. And I'm going to switch that over to a scatter chart, okay? Scatter charts allow me to like kind of visualize like where you might have outliers, right? Like in this case, like, hey, international security is above and beyond what you'd expect to see. They're performing way beyond what you'd expect, where everyone else is scattered in here. We want to get some differentiation inside of here, so we're just going to go in and we're going to add in something else. We'll add in, how about quantity, right? So we talk about quantity ordered, right? Order quantity, and so we'll use that as the y-axis, right? Oh, I like this. This looks pretty good, but we kind of have some challenges here because while this gives us a good a distribution, it doesn't allow for people to really stand out all that much. So what we'll do is we'll take the let's say the amount that was shipped, and we'll add that into size. Okay, now we can start to hone in and see these different sizes inside of here. This can become really powerful, but we're missing something here. We're missing something. What are we missing here? Oh, I know what we're missing. We are missing the play axis on this, right? Yeah, we should set the play axis. So instead of, let's divvy up by play axis. And in, let's say for my values, I go to bank name. So I could see my different banks, how they work and operate. I can see what their performance is, right? That's interesting, right? Okay, so we've got that in place. but we're doing our reseller, so let's actually drill in and let's look at reseller. Oh, and let's split out. All right, so we got reseller name and we got a play access here. Oh, I don't know about that. That's too broken up. So by month is problematic. We're not seeing enough proper movement in there. So instead of by month, let's just do the play access by fiscal year. Okay. So now we can start to see and trace different behaviors, and I can click on something and see how it bounces and moves throughout time, where it's going. Okay, like that. That looks pretty good. All right, so we've got that kind of in place there. I kind of like this, but what I want to do is I want to give them. So I've created something where they can actually see this and they can see these things move. Maybe though we could do something to get some formatting on this. I know we've been using circles there, but what if we did squares? Oh, that kind of looks cool. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right. All right. But I want to give them. So up here, this was just my look and feel, right? So everything looks right. Like this looks sharp and good. I want to give them inside this experience some ability to filter, navigate, understand what it is that I'm looking at inside of here, right? So, so that they can filter down and find things of relevance to them, right? So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to give them a couple bar charts that we'll put on the side. So as always, we like to cheat. We don't like to make things harder on ourselves than it has to be. All right, so we're not going to do any small multiples, right? This is just going to be by bank name. And we're just going to do sales amount. Boom. Okay, that looks pretty sharp, right? So I'll put that right up here. And I want to make sure I've got padding in place. So I'm going to format that. That's my y-axis. Make sure that they can fully read the names right there. We're going to do the same thing underneath that, but we're going to give them the reseller name. Again, honing it in so it becomes easy for them to filter, slice, and dice. I do want to make this easier for them to read and work with, though. There's something that's kind of missing in here that's kind of sticking out to me. And I think it's that, oh, that's a little too big. Move this up. What we're going to do here is, same thing. I want to make sure that I have plenty of room for my reseller names. In fact, when I get so that this is pretty much visible, okay, we'll call that 40. 40, I said. We're going to come up here and do the exact same thing so that we have the exact same sizes on our reports. Make sure that I've got the same size there and there. Shorten that up. Now, again, they can scroll in here, or they can filter within here. Now, one of the things I want to do is, because I want these to be filtering mechanisms, I'm going to come up into my format tool. Let me expand that again so it's easy for me to interact with. And I want to edit my interactions. So in this case, when I click on this, I don't want it to highlight. I want it to filter, right? And this is always going to filter. And the same thing is true of this, is that I don't want this to be highlighted. I want it to be filtered. Okay. Right, so that the functionality I want to have is that they can click on Guarantee Bank or Guardian Bank and filter down to it. Primary Bank, right? They can go, and inside of this reporting space, they have those capabilities, okay? Now, we're going to call this guy this group, I'm going to call these my outliers, okay? I'm going to highlight all of these guys. I'm going to right click, I'm going to group them. Where's my visual view selection? This is my outliers. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a series of bookmarks that allow me to have multiple insights inside of one defined area here. All right, so right within this space, I want to be able to have multiple types of insights. So, and I'm going to give an inner navigation here so that they can easily navigate between them. So I've got this in place. Now I want to turn that off because what am I going to do is I'm going to create a new visual, and this time I'm going to insert the a key influencers visual. Right, I'm going to take up that exact same spot, although I'm going to do kind of the same thing that I had done before, which is make sure that I have plenty of room for another visual for similar type of filtering capabilities, and I'm going to build that visual out first. So I'm going to add in my factory reseller sales amount. That's going to go into a bar. It's going to go dim reseller. Probably should have just copied and pasted that because I already had that in place. But hey, them's the breaks, right? So we got bank name, function, bars, set to a field value. If I would have been smart, I would have copied that because I wouldn't have to do this again. But we've been over that. Wasn't smart. Okay. Got that in place. General effects background turned off. Good. Data labels are off. Anything I want to set my color of my content. That's using a consistent look and feel. That's my y-axis, x-axis. Let's do the same thing. All right. So we've got that in place. This is going to go here. And can I get that? Okay. Now, I want on my what's going to be influencing this? I want to be using my reseller sales amount. That's what I want to analyze. And how do I want to do that? Well, I'm really focusing on reseller. So we're going to use bank name. We're going to use reseller name. Reseller name. We'll use product category, and product subcategory along with that. One note, especially when you're using these, fields from like the AdventureWorks database where the names aren't necessarily exactly what you want them to be. If you're using one of these, new auto-generating tools, it's important to go in and make sure that your names here are relevant and they make sense to people, so that this will show you the information that you're looking for, right? So I went in and I renamed that product category just so it's easier. It's not just product category, it's just product category, or it's not English product category, right? And in this case, it's just going to be subcategory. I don't need it to be product subcategory name. That doesn't make it. Users don't care about all that stuff, right? And then the last one is product. Let's see, dim product name, right? Yeah. English product name. We'll stick that in, and this is just product. Don't need anything more than that. So we got product category, product subcategory. Now I've got all these things edited in. Hey, Kevin, what's going on, buddy? Had to force myself into making sure I got your presentation together here. So See, I am on it. Turn my background off. I'm gonna set my background to be that main font. All right, setting this stuff up. Oh. Right. Okay, got that. Actually, we'll do this. So we start to set that together. Yeah. All right, so we've kind of got these in place. I think there's some text up here. I'm not. Oh yeah, there's two texts I have here. Am I able to adjust those? Oh, that's a problem. Oh man, that kind of stinks. All right. Well, I guess that's about it. That's all we can do for there. We cannot change either of those choices. Okay, so that's fine. What are we gonna do? All right, we'll turn that on, and what we'll do is we will choose. We're using that for our text, so to make sure that that stands out, we'll put in like a gray, or custom gray. That's all right, but how about like purple? No, don't like that. Peach. That doesn't look great. We'll use gray. All right. So we've got that together. Let me straighten that out a bit. And you know what? We're just going to make it a little bit size in there. And you know what? Hang on a second here. I don't want this to be bank name. I want this to be reseller name. I did it again. I said reseller name. Reseller name. Get rid of the bank name. But on this guy, I'm going to put a top 10. Reseller. Filter type. Top N. Oh, I got to change that up. Top 10. My value sales amount. Apply filter. So now I've got the top 10. Oh man, I gotta change my view. Customize current theme, filter pane. Huh. I've got that all set up. We're gonna have to do that. Huh. Okay. All right, we're gonna use the same font, that gray on each one, so I think that'll show up to some degree everywhere. So close, Power BI in yet so far. Okay, so that's in, good. But this one is my top 10. So get that on. Okay. So, you know, why is it not? Oh, I zoomed out. I want to have fit to width on all the time, so I always can see my full palette that I'm working on. Okay, and there's this. So, I did a grouping for outliers. This is going to be my influencers group. All right, so I'm going to group these together. Group influencers. Gonna rename it. Okay. All right, again, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a navigation through here that allows me to like filter these different bookmarks out. Okay, so I've got my influencers. I've got my outliers, right? Next thing I want to do is I want to have my root cause. Okay, so root cause, actually, in order to do that one, I'm going to unhide my outliers. I'm going to copy this visual here, hide that. I'm going to paste it. There we go. Oh, you went way up here, silly goose. All right, so it's right here, but in this case, I want this to be a decomposition tree, so we can do root cause in this. Root cause. While I'm on it, now I'm gonna go in and format this guy, so I got a good clean look to it. And we're gonna use my color there. Right. Oakley Dokley, I think we're almost ready for this. All right. I think all these are set up. Now, one of the things I do like to do is I like to break these things out on the get-go at jump. So let's start to break this out so that people can start to really see what this does. So we're going to do high value, high value, high value. Right. So I've kind of got that stuck in. Okay, all that's together. I have everything I want inside here. Let's add in some other values here. So we've got bag name, reseller name, product subcategory. That's good. Oh, and I got the tooltips in here, so you can also. Okay, I kind of like that. You know, let's call this a day. Oh, you know what? Let's do. Let's do some more things. Let's add in. I wonder if there's anything. The due dates. No, I don't want to do that. Hidden due date, order date. Let's add that in. Let's see here. What else? That's gonna be useless. But let's look at employee. Let's see here. Employee email address. We'll add that in. Boom. So now we can hone in on high value, right? And high value. All right, so now you can kind of see what what this is going to shape up to be like. This is hard to read, so I'm going to go in and change the title, right? Some positive value bars. Background. Let's make that darker. There we go. And then maybe we make this one white. Becomes a little easier to read as we look at this. All right. I kind of like this. This looks good. We're not going to do anything more with that one. So this is just my root cause. This is just the one visual. We'll just leave it as my root cause visual. That's fine. Okay. Gonna hide that again. Next thing I want to do, and this is something that I think a lot of people can miss out on, is the ability to connect people inside their organization of those who are good at something along with those who could help at something. Okay. Um, so in this case, we're going to be looking at like a top and a bottom performers when it comes to um, whatever happens to be inside your organization. So for this case, we're going to look at the employee email address. Where did you go? And why did you get visualized like that? That is silly. Employee email address by reseller sales amount. Okay, so we've got that together. Now in this case, it doesn't make sense to break that by bank because resellers sell to a whole bunch of different people on here. So I want to find out who are the top employees inside of my organization. So in this case, I'm going to say, okay, employees, but instead of basic filtering, I'm going to do top N. I'm going to say top 10. I'm going to say by reseller sales amount. I'm going to hit apply. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to end up with the top 10 employees that for sales. Okay. Now, I want to match them up with the bottom 10% of the employees that I have with sales, so that they can actually start to help each other out. So that's why I call these like tops and bottoms. So we can kind of line each other up and say, okay, hey Linda, go help Raj, right? Jillian, David needs some assistance, right? Um, this is important to convey that to people. Like, this is not necessarily a bad thing that you are. I mean, it's not a bad thing that you're a top reseller, but it's not necessarily bad that you're a bottom, right? Like maybe Rajiv just started or something along those lines, right? So, and he just needs some assistance. So, you know what we're going to do is we want to make sure that we're providing good recommendation for people when they consume a report, because we don't want people just going in and firing them if they don't like that. So let's go back to ChatGPT to get some insights, right? Right. 3 sentences on the value of coaching in sales. Coaching is available to improve sales performance. Well, focusing in the face of rejection adverse by finding ongoing support. I like this one. This is the one I'm going to use. Again, ChatGPT just makes me a better developer, right? So it's not, it's not the end of the world. It is just kind of the beginning, right? So I'm going to post that in my ChatGPT results. I'm going to put that in. Right, so what I'm doing right here, right, I want to have it inside of my report. Now, why the heck did it give me that weird background? All right. Hello, OneNote. Or hey, Notepad++. Strip out whatever that was that came along with it. Okay, so we've got this in place. Now I'm going to go in. I'm going to kind of change up my theme. This is the color I've been using. And I want to make sure that my effects, the background is off. All right, and you know what? I'm going to just make that a little bit bigger so it's easier for people to read. All right, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing to this. I'm just going to turn general effects background off. Oh, title. Why? Okay. And now that's in place. I'm going to format point this guy too. I guess my title. I do the exact same thing there. Okay, so this is my tops and bottoms, right? So I've kind of got this together. I've lined up my people who should help too, we've got some like coaching little tips inside of here, so I feel comfortable about the messaging and that we're going to stay on brand. I'm going to group these together, and I'm going to call a group, and this group is going to be our tops and bottoms. All right, we're going to stick that underneath. All right, so I've got these all grouped together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to create some bookmarks. So let's start getting into this. So bookmarks, I want to start adding these. So I'm going to add this one in. I'm going to call this one my outliers. Right, I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to say add in a second one. Oopsies. Then unhide influencers. Update. Call this one influencers. Get that together. Now I can flip back and forth. Good. That's good. Now I can turn that off. I can undo another one. Call this one root cause. Right. Now that seems like it works good. And then now tops and bottoms. Right. Okay, so all these bookmarks seem to be working independently together, so that's great. I'm gonna select them all. I guess I can't select them all, is that not a thing? Okay. I'm gonna group my bookmarks together. I'm gonna call this my influencers. All right, and so once I've got that in place, I can now go and I can go to insert buttons and I can say bookmark navigator. And now right here, I've got outliers, I've got tops and bottoms, I've got root cause, I've got influencers. That navigation looks good, but I really want influencers, outliers, influencers, root cause, tops and bottoms. Good, 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 good. Now I want to have some formatting on this so that I have a consistent look and feel on this. Let's see. Yeah. I got the button style. Yeah, I want my fill. What is this? This is my default. I want my fill to be the black. I want my font color to be my purple. Right, and then on selected. So I want that to be purple. I want the fill to be there, but I want the border to be my white as well, and then I want it to be okay. Go over. Okay, that generally looks good. I don't like on hover. Hover looks a little fill, still needs to be black. Border there. But we will I'll turn it on and turn it on and we'll turn it to boy, we're not snappy today. Okay. Kind of like that. That looks good. 'Cause my hedge. Okay. So I've got this in place. This is looking great. Okay, so I got my first part, I got my second part, and now on to my third part, right? So what was the bottom thing that we wanted to have is that we wanted to make sure that we had, where's my presentation? That my KPIs, insights, filters, and then details. Okay, good deal. So we go into our filters, or what's our table gonna be? Start from, keep things as easy as we can, right? What do we have already selected that we can use to build up our detailed page? And that's going to be this. Or use a table. All right, so we got a bank name, reseller name, sales amount. Let's throw in some additional information in here to kind of flesh that out. So we got sales amount shipped. Let's say we got order quantity. Other KPIs are in here. Unit price, tax amount. Unit price, tax amount. Delete and rename. Now we always want to make sure that we've got we're always focused in on having a good, consistent look and feel on everything that we're doing, right? Where's my order date? Due date. And we'll throw in PO number. PO number. All right. So we kind of got that in place. Now, what do we want to do to kind of clean this up? Well, let's go to our elements here, and let's make sure our bank names are appropriately set. So let's go in and say on cell elements, bank name, we're going to turn the background on, and set of rules, we'll do field color, and again, we're going to go to factory seller sales, choose bank color code, boom. Okay, and so we'll sort this so you can see that there's different ones. And let's see here. We also have general. What's my effects? Oh, visual values. Here we go. We got this backwards. My background should be black. Color. Right. Okay, so this is starting to come together. Let me hone in so you can see what we're looking at here. Sorry, this is hard for those on the live stream. We get these in together. Now we go to column headers. Same thing we're going to do here. Make sure that these are in place. Give it a bold. Do something to kind of space this out. Now, on some things we want to make sure that we are adding in some ability to like see and differentiate, right? Like where things are larger or smaller, right? So in this case, due date. We'll change our due date. No, I'm sorry, sales amount. We'll add in data bars. You know what? That looks pretty good. We'll do the same thing for order quantity. And actually, you know what? Why don't we... Oh, yeah, we'll do data bars as well. But this time... No, you know what? That's fine. We'll just keep those consistent, right? So we've got those in place. We've got all of these others look good. All right. And then the last thing we want to do on this page is we wanted to create those filters on here so that became easy for people to go in and know what they're looking at, right? So I like to have for any attribute that's on a chart, you want to have a filter there so people can hone in on it at a minimum. And because in this case, they've wanted it on the screen itself, and because I'm scrolling up and down, I'll do that here. So I'm going to be selecting from a customer PO number, due date, order date. So we'll first add in customer PO number, change it to a slicer, go in and set, oh yeah, sons of, they changed where they do these settings on this now. Is anyone else thrown off by where they moved the settings to on this one? I mean, no, not single select, multiple select is good. It throws me off that you have to, you go into here and select it, right? Okay, so it's a vertical list. Selections multi-select, yes. That's not what I care about. Header's not what I care about. Where's the functionality here? I want this to be I want this to be a drop down. Oh, drop down. There it is. And where's the search? Okay, search. Okay, drop down and search. Okay, so that's all set up there. Now, what I do need to do is I do need to make sure that this goes relatively above it. So we're going to change this to PO number. And I'm going to make sure that, what is this, the background off. Font is set to my purple. Why am I not getting a slicer header? There we go. Okay. So I got my PO number. I've got this all kind of set up the way I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this over. 1, 2. Bank name. Reseller name. Order date. Due date. And we'll add in something else that we probably need, which is probably the carrier tracking number. Gonna add this stuff in. All right. And the reason I was saying those names off, even though I wasn't doing them yet, or adding them in yet, was because I wanted to just, they're just placeholders, right? So due date, order date. Numbers right, reseller name. Dim reseller. Name. And then bank name. Okay, bank name, reseller name, PO number, order date, due date. Hang on. We're going to move those all over. Oh, where the heck did that go? That was odd. Where did my order date go? Oh well, we'll create another one. Order date. That's odd. Make sure we give spaces in these names. And now that I have these date slicers, we're going to change these to tween. kind of set these up like this. Yeah. Search is definitely your friend, Kevin. You are spot on. Oh, that didn't work. That stinks. Oh well. Between. Kind of the same size. Alright, so again. Okay, let's move as far over as we can. Now. Format. Align. Align top. Align. Distribute horizontally. Boom. Alright, so now I've got these in place relatively happily. I've added in my necessary visuals. Now, here's where I want to add in my smart narrative. I want to add that to the top. Allow that to auto-generate. Even though it comes at the bottom, we're going to move this up to the top. We'll appropriately format this. I cannot tell you how much I wish we had some ability to use transparency in these settings here. Effects back. Oh, we do have transparency. Awesome. That is great. Last time I looked at that, it wasn't. We didn't have transparency. That's awesome. We'll take that. Good. Visual border. We're going to turn that on in this case. And we're going to choose a white. We're going to stick a white one around that. Okay. So we can add that in. You know what? If that's selected. Oh, there we go. 30%. Ah, why does that do that? Okay. So now we have our app together. That's got a good look and feel to it. It's got all sorts of different insights. Oh, I forgot to do my question here. So I got to pull up my bookmarks again. All right, and my selection. Now I want to have my metric, so this is add a bookmark for KPIs. Right. So I'm gonna now hide my KPIs and unhide my metrics. Add a bookmark for metrics. Something went wrong. What? Better not go wrong. Always in our demo. All right, so metrics is visual, KPIs. So I can now bounce back and forth. Good. Oh, look, they showed up down here. I don't want them down here. So my bookmarks, I have to make sure that I go in and turn this over to influencers. So it just stays those two, regardless of which ones I've set. Now, I add in an item. So insert buttons. We're going to do an information. Fill with this. Right? And we're actually going to put an action on this guy. This button is going to get associated with my KPIs. So I'm going to drag it into my KPIs with my card visuals. And this button The action is going to get set to bookmark. Well, you can't see me because I'm there. Gets set to bookmark. Oops. And the bookmark I want is metrics, right? And when the metric goes off, it's gonna have to be more over here. I've got it in the wrong place. So go back to KPI. Actually, we'll set it over here so we can get a consistent place for that. All right, so when I go to metrics, I'm going to insert another button, the same information button. I'm going to insert, I'm going to put it over here. Style is going to be icon. I'm going to give it that same color, but this time I'm going to take it up to like a 5. And the action I'm going to set to bookmarks, and it's going to go to the KPIs, okay? This button, I want to make sure that this gets added into the metrics as well, so that it goes on and off with this other one, right? So if I go to KPIs, it's my unmet valid one there. All right. All right. If I want to get this exactly right, I'd go in and I'd futz with like the X and Y stuff, but this looks pretty good. All right. So I'm fairly happy with that. Okay. Now I've got this in place. This is great, but I don't think they really want this, right? So I can publish this out into the service, and hey, all well and good. I think that they want to really see something that's more attuned with like having different pages, right? Like, okay, so here's could be like a trend page. You know what? I'm gonna call this one trend, right? And then different insights, as well as then a detailed page, right? So I'm just going to build upon the work that I've already done because I don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? What's it about? Like, I'm lazy, not something or another. I forget what the expression is, but like, okay, so we go over to this new trend page. This page is set up to be, normal size, right? So we're going to kind of like move everything into this space. Now we're going to have to make some changes in how we format things because we're not going to have as much like open space, right? Like our width and our sizes are going to be a little wonky, so we want to make sure that we're not missing anything, right? Like in this case, we might have to muck around. If we just want to copy and paste over, we might have to do some like right, we might have to do some customizing. Oh, that's the wrong one. Of this in order to not miss out on something, right? Like our regular size doesn't allow for this visual to be that far over, right? But maybe we're gonna keep this. I don't know. We'll keep the size. We'll just adjust the height. Oh, that's too much. 1080. Ah, I don't know, something like that. We'll figure it out what that's supposed to be. Ah, 1040. All right, whatever. We'll basically break this up into different pages. Oh, it's supposed to be regular size. What am I doing? I'm mucking up with this because this is all in one group. This has to be moved in significantly so we don't break. Oh, come on. You know what? What am I doing? Group, ungroup. Right, let's keep this stuff simple, right? Don't make things more complex than they have to be by trying to maintain any whatevers, right? Canvas background, canvas setting, custom 16:9. Okay, 16:9's in place. Great. I want this here. I want all the KPIs here. So again, format, align top, align, distribute horizontally. Here are my values, right? Okay, so we got this. All right, so we got a trend. What am I saying? I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing, kind of, but I'm going to be giving myself one of the things I want to make sure that I'm doing is I want to think about what this is going to be like, right? Because I want to give them all of this functionality inside of this page. But I want to do it with a vertical layout so that they just have a singular page worth of stuff. And I'm going to give them a similar navigation that I have here, but just along here that takes them through the pages, okay? So we did trend. I'm going to create a duplicate page, but I'm going to kind of get rid of these guys because I'm going to bring those together later. And this is going to be, what is it, outlier. Right, I'm going to duplicate it. And as influencers. Right. Oops, not that. Not that. Delete this page. Oh, oh, oh. Hey, Christian, what's going on, man? We just finished completing what would be like, hey, this is, they asked for one page with everything on it. Here's us quickly giving them something that is more usable. And they're actually going to, I think, find more insightful and useful for them. But as I'm talking, I'm kind of screwing that up. So I'm going to duplicate page. Root cause. Rop and Rotem. Because I'm speaking like Scooby-Doo right now. And details. All right, so we did the trend. We got that one set up. Now we're going to go and we're going to grab the outliers group. Copy. Go over to outliers. And paste that in. As we noted before, we're going to get a little bit too big. So we're going to come in and we're going to just tweak this so it fits right. The nice thing about this is it does kind of, I wouldn't say it forces you to give enough room for a visual to breathe, but it does make it much easier to like say, okay, hey, I've got to make some compromises, or you know, in order to get the visuals to breathe. But now it's all up and running. Daughters will follow asleep eventually. That is so true. So here's our influencers page. Root cause. Now, if you've been kind of following along, you'll kind of realize that, you know, you're probably saying to yourself, you know, I could probably go the other way with this too. And like, yeah, 100% you can, right? So if you have, if you already have this broken out, you could actually go the other way and move that all into a singular page, right? Not necessarily something to recommend, but you know, it's something that can be helpful in speeding up your development process, very likely. Come on, come on. Oh, killing me softly with his song, tearing my whole life. His words. All right, there we go. Whoops. Come on now. All right, so that's in place. And then the last one's my details. Sync them visuals. That was weird. All right, so now I have got these all in place. What do we always want to do? Oh, because whatever reason, these get mixed up. Format, align, top, distribute horizontally. Okay. Now we've got these all in place. Now we do one last thing. We insert our button navigator, page navigator. Right? Actually, we're going to delete that one. Go back to the main. We're going to do it from the main. Reason why? Because on the main, I already have a good formatting option in place. I can select it. I can go format painter and blood-ow. Now my formatting's done for me. If I want, now I can take this and I can go back over, sync it. Why did you do that? Don't. That was on. I did not get the page navigation. Copy. Paste. There we go. Now notice that's going to show up in a slightly different place. It's a little awkward in here. We're going to do some like rearranging of stuff to get it to fit. I don't know. Something like this. Maybe we'll delete off some of that. There we go. I don't really want to have, I want to make sure I don't have a scroll bar on this. Okay. Now copy it. Each page paste that puppy in. Oh my gosh. This is too tall, so I'll shrink it up. Now I want to make sure it goes right in the right place, so I paste it right back. I delete it, then paste it back. Have to do the same thing if I'm not careful here, so paste. Back up. Paste. Oh, yeah, I totally crushed what's there. And paste. Okay. All right. So now I've got it both ways. I've got my up and down, one page for everything, as my users have asked me to do. Hey, Kevin, welcome back. I've got my up and downs all set up. I've got it broken out. Now I can publish this out to the service, and I can present this out to my users. And I've got a reporting suite, reporting tooling that has a highly customized visual layout and appearance, highlights and focuses on all sorts of different ways that users can use the leverage the latest and greatest inside of the Power BI capabilities. It's using everything outside of the box, so uh, no things that's gonna like, I know some departments that have lots of problems, or some, especially like IT security departments, have problems with custom visuals. So we're not using any of those things. So we've got a great content here, and that we can showcase and share off with people. Okay. So that's kind of the process I use to build out a great report. What am I missing? You guys are in the chats. What have I missed inside of doing this? Like, so I created my layout, I created my sketch, or I added my visuals, right? So I guess it's then duplicate the next thing. I do have an outline here. Where did my outline go? Oh, I did my outline. Yep. Right, create my insights. Yep, I did that. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry, just doing this now. All right. Okay, insight section. Oh yeah, I did that. I did the metrics. Oh, I did my metrics way up by add visuals. Oh, help button. That's what I missed. Yeah, we'll skip that for now. What information page? Oh, yeah, I think this will be more than enough for a presentation. Okay, create insight section, and then it's create details section, right? Insights, create details. And so that's filters. Records. All right, so we got that in, and then the last thing I think we did wasn't just create the detail section. It was showcase, breakout, verse, one page. Or no, it's move. Dedicated pages. Page navigation. All right. There we go. All right, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen. Holy cow. Oh, Kevin's back. Hey, Kevin. Did I say that already? Oh. Oh, this was really fun. Thank you guys for tuning in and enjoying putting this together. I frankly I really enjoy doing I really enjoy this work. I don't know, but I presume you guys do too. Otherwise, you would be sitting here listening to me ramble on about this stuff. But this is kind of my process for how I go through. Does anyone do anything else? If you know, if not, well, hit me up. Let me know. Otherwise, I think I am ready to go. All right, guys. That's it. I'm done. So you guys have a great day. Wait. Thanks for joining me. I actually. Oh, wait. I got another thing here. Hang on. Let me see if I can share this with you. This is kind of cool. How can I get this up? How can I get this up and not not share with you private key information here? Oh, hold on. Almost have it up. All right. Here we go. I'm pretty excited about this. I've got 2 new shirts that I'm gonna be or you can now order. This is the black on black Power BI Data God swag that's out there. So if you go in and take a look at this, it does say Power BI Data God, but it's a nice black T-shirt with black print on it. So like people got to really dial in and take a look at that, because you know what? Frankly, you can see it in each and every one of you. You guys are data gods out there, but there's no reason to get all braggadocious on it. So do check it out. The black on black Power BI Data God T-shirts, those are available. Both the premium tee. I guess this is a super high grade quality tee that they have available through spring, as well as your essentials tee. So it's a black on black Power BI Data God t-shirt. Get them now. I do have a promo code out there. If you just put in Power BI, when you enter it, you will get 10% off. I was able to get that up and running. So kind of excited. I moved everything off of my old store onto my new store, relaunching with the black on black Power BI swag. So I just got these things created. I got sample shipments head my way. I think this is a really fun new look and feel. So excited to see what anyone else has to say. All right, so you've heard about it here first. So thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Have a great day. It was awesome getting a live stream with you guys all. Have a good one. Peace. Baker Tilly Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.